While the world watches ceasefire negotiations between the United States and Iran, Israel just conducted 100 airstrikes across Lebanon in 10 minutes. Apartment buildings collapsed in Beirut. Rescue workers pulled bodies from burning vehicles. And according to the White House, none of this violates the ceasefire because Lebanon is a separate skirmish. But here's what they're not telling you. This isn't a side conflict. This is the main event. Because if Israel can eliminate Hezbollah, Iran loses its most powerful weapon without firing a single shot at Tehran. Hezbollah isn't just another militant group. They're Iran's crown jewel in a network of proxies stretching across the Middle East. They control southern Lebanon completely. They have seats in parliament. They run hospitals and schools. And most critically, they possess a military arsenal that rivals some national armies. Current intelligence estimates put Hezbollah's rocket and missile inventory at over 150,000 projectiles. That's more firepower than most NATO countries possess. These aren't crude homemade rockets. Hezbollah has precision-guided missiles capable of hitting specific buildings in Tel Aviv. They have anti-ship missiles, advanced air defense systems, and drones. They've spent 2 decades, with Iranian funding and training, building a military force designed to overwhelm Israel's defenses through sheer volume. Iran invested billions into Hezbollah because they serve a specific strategic purpose. They're Tehran's deterrent against Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. The implicit threat has always been clear. If Israel bombs Iran's nuclear program, Hezbollah unleashes everything on Israeli cities. Thousands of missiles raining down simultaneously. Infrastructure destroyed, casualties in the thousands. That threat kept Israel from attacking Iran directly for years. But something has changed. Israel is no longer deterred, and they're using the chaos of the Iran-US conflict to settle the Hezbollah problem once and for all. Timing is everything in warfare, and Israel recognizes this is a unique window of opportunity. Iran is currently dealing with direct U.S. military strikes on its territory. Their oil infrastructure is burning. Their petrochemical facilities are destroyed. Their military is stretched defending Iranian airspace. Tehran simply cannot afford to open another major front by fully activating Hezbollah against Israel right now. They need Hezbollah's threat to remain credible, which means they can't expend it while Iran itself is under attack. This creates a strategic paradox for Iran. If they order Hezbollah to launch everything at Israel in retaliation for the Lebanese strikes, they lose their deterrent and gain nothing, because the U.S. is already bombing Iran anyway. But if they don't activate Hezbollah, Israel can systematically destroy the organization without facing the consequences that threat was supposed to prevent. Iran is trapped, and Israel is exploiting that trap ruthlessly. The ceasefire agreement's Lebanon exclusion isn't an oversight. It's deliberate. The United States and Israel coordinated this language specifically to allow continued operations against Hezbollah while maintaining the fiction of a broader ceasefire. Trump called Lebanon a separate skirmish, but his administration knows exactly what's happening. They're giving Israel diplomatic cover to degrade Iran's most valuable proxy while Iran can't effectively respond. Consider what Israel has hit in just the past 48 hours. The Israeli Defense Force struck the 7th bridge crossing over the Litani River, which separates southern Lebanon from the rest of the country. By destroying these crossings, Israel is isolating Hezbollah's forces in the south, preventing reinforcement and resupply from northern Lebanon. They're cutting off retreat routes. They're creating a kill box. Israel also conducted wide-scale airstrikes on weapons depots, ammunition storage facilities, and command centers across southern Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley. These facilities represented years of Iranian investment. Precision-guided missiles stored in hardened bunkers, long-range rockets positioned in underground facilities, all of it burning. The Israeli Air Force isn't conducting harassment strikes. They're executing a comprehensive campaign to destroy Hezbollah's military capabilities before the ceasefire window closes. Hezbollah leadership faces an impossible choice. They can respond with limited rocket attacks, which only invite more Israeli strikes while demonstrating weakness. Their supporters expect retaliation. Their fighters are dying. Their infrastructure is being destroyed. Yet they can't launch the full-scale missile campaign they've threatened for years because that would require Iranian authorization, and Tehran cannot afford that escalation right now. Hassan Nasrallah, Hezbollah's leader, built his reputation on resistance against Israel. He survived the 2006 Lebanon war and emerged with enhanced credibility because Hezbollah fought the Israeli military to a standstill. But this situation is different. In 2006, Hezbollah had strategic depth. They could retreat, regroup, and resupply. Today, Israel is systematically eliminating that depth by destroying bridges, blocking supply routes, and hitting storage facilities faster than Hezbollah can relocate assets. The organization also faces internal political pressure. Lebanon is an economic disaster. The country defaulted on its debt. The currency collapsed. Lebanese citizens are tired of being a battlefield for regional conflicts they didn't choose. Every Israeli strike that kills Lebanese civilians increases resentment against Hezbollah. Hezbollah's political support within Lebanon is eroding, but they can't appear weak by not responding either. This internal contradiction is exactly what Israel wants to exploit. By maintaining continuous military pressure, Israel forces Hezbollah to either escalate and face destruction or accept humiliation. Either outcome benefits Israel. It's a strategic vice, and it's tightening. Understanding this conflict requires understanding how Hezbollah got 150,000 missiles in the first place. Iran manufactures these weapons domestically, then ships them through multiple routes. Some go by air through Syrian airports Iran controls. Some travel overland through Iraq and Syria. Syria is the critical node in this network. After the Syrian civil war, Iran established permanent military bases on Syrian territory. They built weapons factories and storage depots. Syria became the highway for Iranian arms flowing to Hezbollah. But now that pipeline is under unprecedented pressure. With U.S. and Israeli forces actively striking Iranian territory and assets across the region, Tehran's ability to resupply Hezbollah is severely constrained. The weapons Hezbollah has right now might be all they get for the foreseeable future. Every missile Israel destroys today cannot be easily replaced tomorrow. Israel has also intensified strikes on Syrian targets connected to Iranian weapons transfers. They're not just attacking Hezbollah's existing arsenal, they're cutting off future supplies. This is systematic decapitation of Iran's deterrent capability. And they're doing it during a window when Iran is too busy defending itself to effectively counter Israeli operations. From Tehran's perspective, watching Hezbollah get dismantled without being able to intervene represents a strategic catastrophe. They spent 20 years and billions of dollars building Hezbollah into a force capable of threatening Israel's homeland. That investment is burning in Lebanese warehouses right now. Iranian military advisors embedded with Hezbollah are dying in Israeli airstrikes. Iran's forward defense line is collapsing. Tehran's strategic options are all bad. They can order Hezbollah to launch a full-scale attack, but that expends their deterrent while Israel's air defenses are on maximum alert. Alternatively, Iran can continue accepting the degradation of Hezbollah while hoping the ceasefire leads to some diplomatic arrangement. But every day this continues, Israel destroys more capabilities. The third option is most dangerous. Iran could use other proxy forces to retaliate against American interests, attempting to force Washington to pressure Israel to stop. But this risks provoking a U.S. response that makes Iran's situation even worse. Israel's endgame isn't just tactical degradation of Hezbollah's arsenal. It's strategic transformation of the Lebanese security environment. If Israel can destroy enough of Hezbollah's military infrastructure, the organization might be forced to accept a political settlement that reduces its military role in Lebanon. Netanyahu's government has been explicit that the ceasefire with Iran doesn't cover Hezbollah. This isn't a loophole they're reluctantly exploiting. It's the whole point. They negotiated for this exclusion because degrading Hezbollah is more strategically valuable than any concession Iran might make. Even if Iran agrees to limits on uranium enrichment, none of that matters if Hezbollah retains the ability to launch 150,000 missiles at Israeli cities. Israeli military planners also understand this window won't last forever. Eventually, the US-Iran ceasefire will either solidify or collapse entirely. Either way, the current conditions are temporary. Israel is maximizing what they can achieve while those conditions exist. The headlines will tell you about ceasefire talks in Pakistan. They'll discuss uranium enrichment and the Strait of Hormuz. But the real war isn't happening in negotiating rooms. It's happening in the skies over Lebanon, where Israeli jets are systematically destroying Iran's most valuable strategic asset, while the world focuses elsewhere. Israel doesn't need to bomb Tehran if they can eliminate Hezbollah. They don't need a deal on nuclear enrichment if they remove the deterrent that prevented them from striking those facilities in the first place. Every bridge Israel destroys in Lebanon, every weapons depot that burns, every Hezbollah commander killed brings them closer to that objective. The Iran conflict is the distraction. The Lebanon campaign is the prize. And right now, with Iran unable to respond effectively, Israel is taking full advantage of an opportunity they know won't last forever.